Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. This is the 15th of March, I believe. Yes. This is a video explanation of the most recent message I received. Excuse me. It'll be my number 1250. Came in, received it or recalled it over a 3-day period, March 11th, 12th, 13th. Let me read this for you. Thanks everybody with a little brief reference to me in the end. Incomparable, for there is no other. Yet we are all his sister and brother, and nothing compares to him. Yet, being that status, we're all still his sisters and brothers. We're still loved and wanted and desired and accepted on an equal footing. Instances of grace existed in man, each according to God's plan. So there's just different periods throughout the history of man where grace descended, where grace was among us, Jesus being one of them. Now at this time of eternal or infinite bliss, amend thyself, for surely don't want to miss. So now's the time to change it, because we're at the time, as he hinted in the previous message, that Easter marks the end of final thirds, which means the transition into the end times, which holds Revelation period. So now is this time. Now at this time, it's time to amend thyself, to get your crap together, and start changing yourselves. For surely do not want to miss this time when it comes upon us like a thief in the night. Mercurial at best, to this we can attest. Mercurial meaning fickle, erratic, volatile. It's been mankind's amending himself, mankind period. His faith and his adherence to God and paying attention to God, a relationship with God. But mankind's been very fickle, which throughout history they can attest to, which is what they're saying. For thou art a freak of nature to those of lower stature, those who truly believe, who adhere to God and believe in God and faithful to God and Jesus, are considered, are a freak of nature, considered such by others of lower stature and lower levels of faith and the darkness, that we are crazy or nonsense or ridiculous. So that comes in the humbling yourself and lessening yourself. Diatribes spoken throughout come like waves spreading doubt. Diatribes or attacks. Let me read my writing here. Verbal attacks, criticisms, has been spoken throughout mankind's history, and to you, if you're a follower and true believer and stick to it, you can attest to that. They come like waves spreading doubt, trying to spread more and more doubt in people's minds, and more you see this happening throughout the world, more and more turning away from God. Immutable to those who don't see, immutable being unchangeable or constant. To those who don't see, it's non-believers or blind, do not see things changing. They don't see anything happening. The thing is always the same. No, it's not. Because they're living in slavery, can't break free. To see. They're stunted in their spiritual growth because they denied the Father and Son both. They turn from him. The more you turn from him, the blinder you get. For all who fail to see and hear will never know when he is near. You're not paying attention. You're blinded by everything else in the world. To seek and find cannot be blind. To ask and receive, one must truly believe. To knock an open door, continue to grow more and more spiritually. What thy have, the possessions and attainments and so forth, what thy have is of no consequence. Highest worth has no substance. The highest spiritual true worth has no substance. It means the more humble it is, the more humble you are, the meeker it is, the meeker you are, the more simple it is, the more simple you are, that has the highest value. That has the highest worth. So that's why it says lessen yourself. When I first went on this journey of faith, When I first left traveling around, I was told, lessen thyself. Even by my daughter's spirit, lessen thyself, Papa, lessen thyself. I had to become less. Place him first. I'm nothing. You're nothing. We are nothing. Yet we are all when we are with him. That's the meaning of when I am weak, therefore I'm strong. For you to find what you seek, lessen thyself, become thee meek, as I just said. Of a course, or a path, to thus attain, highest worth thou shalt gain. This highest worth that has no substance, this humility, you must be on a course to attain this, and you shalt gain this highest worth when you adhere and stick to that path by lessening yourself, which is giving control over to him, which I'll talk about in the next video. Escape the bonds of mortal earth. Seek the goal of spiritual rebirth. That should be your highest goal. Right now, it should be your primary, and certainly not your only goal. Certainly your primary goal. Seek the goal of spiritual rebirth into the light of eternal luminescence. Eternal luminescence, light. Forever to dwell purest in essence. So we want to seek that goal of spiritual rebirth into the light of eternal luminescence, which is heaven. Forever to dwell purest in essence. Be purified forever. Why, you ask, must you let go of all you love so you can grow? Why, you ask, must you let go of all you love so you can grow? He says, why do I have to get rid of everything and let go of everything? At least you start by letting go of the love and the enslavement that it causes you to have. For nothing of material world can give you wings of feather unfurled. So you can attain these wings, the actual wings or symbolic wings of the feathers of light, of rebirth, unfurled fully. Nothing in the material world can give this to you. Once in heaven, learning begins. Once you're clean of all sins, because you still got more to learn. Joy unbounded grasps thy soul. And really, this world is like, to look at it, is like you're preparing for college. You're preparing for college. All this studying, all that you should be focused on should be preparing you so that to get to college, and then it's going to be easier for you instead of blowing everything off all the time. Joy unbounded grasps thy soul, filling thy heart once more whole. That's what occurs. Rejection, not a thing Father does. Take a look at all that was. God doesn't reject you. Doesn't deny you like you denied him every day. I and everybody else, mankind has denied him. He doesn't deny us. We deny him. Take a look at all that was. Man rejected all he gave, all that God gave, yet God, he still tries to save you. Do we do that? No. For all were once a piece of he, before the world we did see. The speaker's saying, before the world was created, and as it is now, we were all once a piece of God. Again, our souls like a cell of his existence. Journey ends for all souls. All must leave canopic bowls, which is our bodies, our physical bodies. All must leave them. For judgment comes to all man, each according to his, God's plan. So each is individual, specific. Some at gate, lying so long, some will be lined up at the gate of heaven, waiting for their turn to be judged. Very long line. Some have joined the heavenly throng. Some have already entered heaven. Remember, the judgment began a number of years back. Some who've wandered for a time, as you've learned from Sharer of Rhyme. And that would be me, the Sharer of Rhyme. Some of you who've wandered for a time, like in the mists, have made it across. I've sent hundreds, 430. And I'm just one of 10,000, tens of thousands of gatekeepers around the world. Mists have parted, So all can see as all they need to now be free. So the mists, spiritual stuff on the spiritual realm, though, those have been wandering around, the mists have been parted, they've been cleared up, opened up, so that all their woman can see all they need to now be free. They all can see what it is required of them to be able to go to the light. Gates await their final passage after relay of final message. So they're all en masse come together through the gateways into heaven, on the way to heaven, after the relay of final message, whether it's through me or somebody else. To the chambers of purification, cleansed of all manner of putrefaction, which would be decay. So I mentioned that once I've sent, they go through this tunnel, this gateway, from this area. They're called a chamber of purification, where they are stripped clean and purified all that has to do with the world, all that they're ready to let go of. They have to be ready to let go of it. It's the taint, even the clothing and spiritual appearance, but that's the last remnant that is of the physical world is taken from them, stripped clean, stripped clear, stripped naked, all are to be purified, like decontaminated. And don't worry about being naked in front of everybody, because everybody else is it, and that's how we were created anyway. So we must become that. Like from dust to dust, from nakedness to nakedness. To be purified and re-robed, recloaked in robes of righteousness, your specific robes of righteousness. Born unto the fields of green, we will thus be, once you attain heaven, earned attitude so serene. We earned, the ones that make it to there, we earn that attitude, that not mental attitude, but that attitude, that position, that viewpoint, that look, that aspect, so serene. Cause celebre, big, huge event to celebrate, highest magnitude. Cause celebre, highest magnitude. Attain highest level. Attain knowledge, therefore more, learning increases. Attain knowledge, greatest aptitude. So it's cause the celebration to attain this highest magnitude, to therefore attain knowledge of the greatest aptitude, the highest level. All his children to join the feast, the bridal feast, the festal feast he mentioned. First to arrive, those who are least. So those who are most humble, lower themselves, lessen themselves, be the first to arrive. Then when we get in easier. To get in easier and quicker, I must lessen myself. Not about you. Trials for all at an end that reach there, except for thee, my eternal friend. Now it's referring to me, because I have other things to do after there. Trials for all at an end, except for thee, my eternal friend, with those who wait for thy arrival, depart again post your revival. So more trials tests and trials to go through, with those who wait for my arrival there, and I'll depart again post my revival, after my period of time that I'm there, rejuvenating, strengthening the spirit before the Lord, beholding the face of God in the inner core with my loved ones, Penelope, and many, many others. I will go out again. Where I'm going to, sights unseen as yet by thee, many a world for you to see. Again, referencing other worlds. All in God's unending plan to save all creation of man. So, continuous process, not just us. So, word of the Lord, thanks be to Jesus Christ, praise God. So that's the explanation on that one. I hope that gave clarification to you and helps you understand things better. And as always, keep an open mind and heart so you can grow in His life, in His light. Until you can do so, you will not grow. As always, stay safe, happy, peace of Christ, God bless.